Yeah, very disappointing. We certainly hold high standards for ourselves and have been training that way. I think Bangladesh are playing really good cricket at the moment as well in their home conditions. I think today certainly we had a look at the wicket. We knew the wicket was a little on the drier side. Probably didn't expect it to take that much turn and or have that grip early on with the variation, and definitely needed to probably assess a little bit more, take a little bit more time. I think you saw in Bangladesh's innings there, they sort of took their time compared to the first game where the ball was coming on under lights and there was a lot more dew. But I think from our point of view, just disappointing in how we adjusted to the conditions. I thought Bangladesh's bowlers bowled really well, but we certainly gave wickets away.
Do you think your batting, because we saw the lack of players, you couldn't bring here, like Bangladesh and other few players couldn't make it to the squad instead. So do you think your batting depth was not as much good as it should be?
I don't think necessarily the batting depth. I think just our decision making at the moment. When you play a top sides like Bangladesh in their home conditions, those small margins all of a sudden make a big difference in terms of what totals you can put on the board. Their bowlers don't give you what you necessarily are normally getting in terms of opportunities to score boundaries as well as quality fielding. So I think when it comes to missing players, we like to think that when you put the scores we've put on the board, it's very difficult to defend those type of scores. I thought our bowling performance today was a lot better than the first game. I think we adapted really well to the conditions. We did use our cut as well, and I thought Aryan Dutt, he really stood up today in terms of his bowling. He holds himself in high regard in that, and he's one of the best bowlers to left-handed batters that I've certainly seen in international cricket. So when you look at playing in these conditions against quality sides, we certainly have a culture of fighting, and we don't like to go down very easily. So pretty frustrating in the last two games, and would like to think that in the last game that we could certainly put a total on the board and or restrict Bangladesh, depending on what we do first, to allow us to actually get into the game. I think in both games that we've played, we've not necessarily got into the game well enough, and that's always put us on the back foot, certainly in the power play and going forward.
How do you feel about, as far as this series is concerned, we played Bangladesh before you even beat Bangladesh, but do you feel this is a different sort of team as far as the team spirit and mentality goes?
Or you feel that it's unlucky that you are not winning that toss?
We've spoken to our captain about winning us a toss or two. We haven't won many in the last little while. I think at this level, sometimes when dew is such a big factor at a ground, that becomes quite a big thing. But I think in the end you still have to play quality cricket. If you end up losing after playing a good game of cricket, you can stand by that. I think we definitely probably haven't played to our standard that we want to play, as much as Bangladesh should probably plays a really good cricket too, to probably restrict us in many ways. So yes, toss is important here with the dew factor in place, but at the same time I don't think we've played well enough to sort of challenge Bangladesh in that case.
What's your expectation about your team for the last match?
Our team or Bangladesh's team?
Your team.
No, our team, look, we mentioned about fighting earlier as much as possible. I think there's a lot of pride in regards to our team. There's huge opportunities playing a quality team, a top 10 nation like Bangladesh in the cricketing space, and this is where we want to be as a cricketing nation, playing against some of the best white ball teams in the world. So from that point of view, you can be sure that we're going to rock up and make sure that we put up a massive challenge.
Probably two questions then, guys, if you want. Last two, any more ones? Yep.
So the Asia Cup is coming up, and that's a big discussion matter as far as Bangladesh is concerned. When you compare with the other teams, India, Pakistan, obviously two of the favorites in the tournament ahead.
There was change in the according to first match, the wicket was.
Definitely. First game, really good cricket wicket. 140 wasn't enough. We were probably about 45, 50 runs short on that good surface. So, you know, in terms of that, it certainly dried out in the last couple of days. It hasn't necessarily rained as much, but it's dried out quite a lot. And you obviously would have seen us batting first there with the ball just gripping a little bit more, whereas in the first game it sort of slid through. A lot of balls sort of skidding and hitting the bat a little bit harder. Today it sort of sat in the wicket. If it hit some of those cracks, it sort of certainly sat up a little bit more. Obviously moving for the last game, moving to a newer wicket again, or a fresh wicket, you'd probably have very similar conditions to the first game in terms of how it plays, I would assume. And then tonight the wind blew. So with the wind blowing, there was actually no dew at all. So the ball didn't necessarily skid through under lights. It also sat up, and you would have seen with the Bangladesh batting, I thought they probably showed us exactly how to bat in these conditions, where it wasn't necessarily a 9 or a 10 run and over run rate that they could chase, and they knocked it around at 7s and 8s until they built a partnership, and then they put their foot down towards the end to close the game out. So I think very different wickets from the first game to the second game. Just us not adjusting quick enough, and Bangladesh being pretty clinical in their skill sets.